Hey, how's it going? So for this one, we're just going to create a password generator that's going to generate all possible passwords with 2 characters, 3 characters, 4 characters, and if we get bored, we'll go for 5. So these are the steps that we're going to take. We're going to create an array of all possible characters. Then what we're going to do is we're going to loop through that array to create that number of passwords. We'll loop through it twice for the 2-character passwords, 3 times for the 3-character array passwords, and then finally 4 times for the 4-character array passwords. If I'm going to do some things in here that you should definitely never do. These are all going to be nested for loops, which is the equivalent of like slapping your grandmother. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just start by creating a new variable to hold all the possible characters. And this is going to be an array. So we're going to use those square brackets. And then we'll create a new variable to hold the alphabet, which we're going to split up and then push into that, that possible characters array. Equals, and this one will just be a string. Great. And then we'll need a numbers array. And we'll need special characters. Great. Now what we'll do is we'll just kind of concatenate them all into that possible array, and then we'll just console log it out afterwards just to make sure that we've got it. So great, and we'll go ahead and console log out the length of it just to see how long it is. Nice. Great, so now that we know that it's all concatenated in there, we can go ahead and get rid of that. And we'll start building out the for loops. So we'll throw this all inside of a function, so that way it's just a little bit neater and reusable. That way, we can use this in every context where we would want to, light our CPU on fire. So we'll go ahead and call this one something unique, something memorable. I think I have the perfect name for it. Great, so now that we have this function, we'll go ahead and call it down here, just so we don't forget it. I always call this function. Great, and now what we'll do is we'll create a new for loop. So we'll say for variable I, we'll go ahead and start it at 0, and we'll say I is going to always be less than the array possible.length, which we console logged out that length up there. Nice. And I is always going to increase after we run this. So in here, what we can do is go ahead and console log out. Oh no. Sorry about that. I forgot. That function is not a function, but it's constant. Sorry, I forgot about that. When we call a function using this creation syntax, we always want to use a const, a var, or really those are the only two that you should use, but I imagine you could use let, but don't. Cool. So we've got this one. What this is going to do is it's going to create, or it's going to be able to loop through and reference everything once, but we're not pussies. We don't want that shit. We want to reference it all twice. So we're going to just quickly nest a for loop, which is wonderful. we'll do the same thing. We'll go ahead and start j at 0. Say j is always going to be less than possible.length, and say that j is going to increase. Great. Cool. So let's talk about what's going on here. We're going to do 69 things right here. Then for each of these 69 things, we're going to do 69 things. So we just increased the difficulty of this program by a power of 69. Nice. And we'll go ahead and create a new variable, and this one will hold the passwords. So this one will be password, and we're going to make this one an array, and you'll see why in a second. We're going to say the array that we're looping through with the index of I is going to be that first one. So this is going to be that A, and then it'll be B, and then it'll be C, then it'll be D, and then it'll be E. And then we'll go ahead and loop through this as well. So then we'll say J for the next one. So then that one will do the exact same thing that we were doing with I, but it's going to be different. So let's talk about what's going on here. It's going to loop through this possible array the first time, and it's going to say I. So the very first time, it's going to say A is the first index here, and then the second time, it's going to be A is the second index of this. And then J is going to increase once because we're gonna increase J total of 69 times. Nice. And then the second index is going to be B and C and D and E, so on and so forth. And that is how we're going to create these passwords. And then what we'll just do is we'll just console log out what this password is going to be. So we'll console log out password.join. And we want to join it on an empty string. So great. So let's go ahead and run your mom. Awesome. As you can see, it's spreading out a ton of different passwords. So this is going to be every single possible password that could possibly be generated from these two characters using that possible array that we have. That's all wonderful. So let's go ahead and really light the CPU on fire. So we're going to go ahead and create the third and the fourth one, and then we're going to cry because we're going to have to spend more money. And we're going to go ahead and comment that out just because we don't actually want the computer to burst into flames, which it could. And we're just going to take this line, we're going to paste it in, we're going to uncomment it, and we're going to just tack on another one. So this will be possible with the index of k. And then we can console log that out. Great. I hate myself. Awesome. And as you can see, it's creating them for every single character. It's beautiful, very beautiful. I can definitely feel my computer getting a little bit hotter, so we're going to go ahead and stop that. And we're going to go ahead and nest another one. C, E, F, J. Wait, what? I'm going to say H. Great. This all looks wonderful, but I want to show you where the real dumpster fire starts. The real dumpster fire starts when we try to store this into an array. So we'll go ahead and say 4 character arrays. And I'll actually demo this here as well. So I'll show you the difference in load time between 4 characters and 2 characters. So, how should I do this? Gotcha. Cool. Great. And what I'll actually do is just go ahead and comment those two out, and we'll just start with that 2. So we'll just start with that 2. So we'll go ahead and run this now. Okay, awesome. So it looks like it really didn't like that. Let's see. I want to push in that. So we know that password is German. It's going to be a string. That should have worked. Oops. Oh. Alright, so I just realized that I'm dumb, and actually what we want to do is call these after we're calling the function that's actually setting things. So, great. We'll go ahead and call your mom, and then we'll check out what she gives us. Great. So for the 2 character arrays, it's pretty quick. You can see we easily got around 5,000 unique passwords. So we'll go ahead and just comment that guy out just to lighten the workload a skosh. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do it with that 4 character array. And I'll be honest, this is going to kill my computer, but let's give it a shot. And what we'll do is let's comment that out and just console log. Awesome, and I had a really good time with this one. We'll go ahead and let this guy run for the rest of eternity because that's how long it's going to take. But hope you had a good one. Hope you had a good one. Take care. Peace.